The word player flashes on screen, setting the stage for an epic journey. Jong Se-won steps into the spotlight, ready to defy destiny itself. The clock is ticking down, and time is running out fast. He's racing against the inevitable. The hero rises in a blaze of golden glory, sword gripped tight and ready for battle. With the battlefield ablaze, he stands firm against the chaos. Behold, the legendary 10,000 Demon Temple. The demon of greed once commanded his legions of devils from the shadows. He carved out a fortress from hell itself, pulling rare gold from the deepest, darkest mountains. Long ago, this temple towered above everything else, perched at the very peak of the world. But then came the Third Divine-Demonic War, a cataclysm that changed everything. The demonic forces were shattered, their temple cast out from the summit in a rain of ruin. After the demons were wiped out, the land finally enjoyed a brief moment of peace. But peace never lasts in this world. Does it? An unknown horror descended from the void. They call them the Outers. And just like that, everything was reduced to dust and echoes. These Outers were absolute nightmares, crushing gods and players alike until society crumbled into nothingness. The tower hasn't been the same since. Se-won can't believe it finally fell. But this disaster might just be his golden ticket to fix the future. He's hunting for the ultimate prize hidden in these ruins. Mammon's vault. If he can reach it, he might actually be able to turn back the clock. System alert. Player Jong Se-won has officially entered the Forbidden Zone. He steps into the cursed halls of the 10,000 Demon Temple. The system is losing its mind, calling him a legend for stepping into a god's realm as a mere human. Talk about a massive ego boost for our hero. He takes a deep breath, barely believing he actually made it inside. So, this is the legendary temple. It's even creepier than the stories suggested. He senses eyes on him. He needs to move before he becomes a permanent resident. He activates his unique skill, Guidepost of Journey. It's the top-tier exploration skill he snagged from Hero's Leap. Without this trusty compass, he would have been monster food days ago. It's showtime. He trusts the skill to lead him straight to Mammon's hidden stash. Every second counts. He's got to move like his life depends on it, because it does. He stares at a blank wall. A dead end? Seriously? Is the game actually asking him to touch that suspicious-looking relic? A single hand thrusts a flaming candelabra into the darkness, cutting through the shadows. The hunt is on. A secret space reveals itself, hidden right under his nose. The candles flicker to life. A chilling glow illuminates the darkness as the trap is set. With a single candle to cut the gloom, he descends into the heart of the unknown. Every heavy footstep echoes with the weight of impending danger. Jackpot! This has to be the legendary Mammon's vault. He can't help but roll his eyes, remembering the annoying guy who gave him this key. The mysterious golden key strikes the stone floor with a sharp clang. Destiny is about to be unlocked. He recalls a past negotiation, trading the key for a fee because they were flat broke. The other party was furious, but hey, a deal's a deal in this world. They threatened his career, but he stood his ground. Talk about a professional bridge burner. Looking back, he realizes he had a literal gold mine and traded it for pocket change. A mysterious prompt appears, flickering with hidden potential. The hidden trait of the golden key has been unlocked. It's official. He holds the pass to Mammon's personal vault. The hero freezes in his tracks, blindsided by an unexpected revelation. His world is about to change forever. Welcome to the Vault of Greed, where dreams and nightmares are kept under lock and key. His jaw hits the floor. Is all of this actually real treasure? The wealth here is enough to make any king turn green with envy. Cursed swords, forbidden techniques, and even a dragon's heart. Who on earth collected this insane hoard? A monstrous sound echoes behind him. The vault's guardian is closing in. He frantically reactivates Guidepost of Journey. He needs the good stuff, and he needs it 5 minutes ago. Buried deep under the mountains of gold, something catches his eye. He slams his hand down, claiming his prize. It's the Chronos Hourglass. the divine tool that can rewind time itself. It's not a total reset, but it's enough to rewrite his own history. If he uses this, he can stop the war before it even begins. He'll climb that tower and face the Outer's head-on this time. He's going to prevent the apocalypse, one turn of the glass at a time. The system hums with energy, ready to bend the laws of reality. He activates the Chronos hourglass. For the first time in history, time inside the tower begins to flow backward. The sands of time are slipping away. Less than 10 minutes left to rewrite destiny. He commits to his choice. There's no turning back now. He'll do whatever it takes to stop the coming nightmare, even if it kills him. The ground shatters beneath him as he braced for the impact. With a cold, focused gaze, he prepares to unleash his hidden power. A colossal, eye-covered tentacle lashes out with devastating force. The nightmare from the depths is tearing through everything in its path. He groans in pain. The pressure is immense. Of all the times to get jumped, why now? A nightmarish monstrosity erupts, thrashing its fanged tentacles in a display of pure, chaotic terror. This eldritch horror is ready to tear everything in its path to shreds. The protagonist is blindsided as lethal. Shadowy tendrils erupt from the ground. He's completely surrounded and caught in a desperate race for survival. He narrowly dodges a strike, his heart racing. A cold, piercing gaze locks onto the target. Absolute shock shatters their composure in an instant. Right? He's surrounded by god-tier loot. It's time to weaponize the vault. With a sudden, bone-shaking grip, he catches the crackling weapon. The air screams as raw power surges through his veins. He grabs Zeus's thunderbolt. A strape. If he can't take it all, he might as well use it to blast his way out. He's going to enjoy every second of this divine firepower. An absolute monstrosity erupts in a shrieking frenzy of teeth and eyes. Pure nightmare fuel is tearing through the battlefield. A catastrophic bolt of lightning tears through the battlefield, obliterating everything in its path. The sheer force of the strike leaves the enemy defenseless against such overwhelming power. A blur of raw, ferocious speed tears through the air. The beast lunges with lethal intent, leaving its target no room to breathe. He strikes back with a ferocious roar. The hero lunges forward with explosive speed, closing the distance to the terrifying, tentacled monstrosity. It's a desperate clash of man against nightmare in the heat of battle. He grits his teeth. The enemy is tougher than he predicted. Wait, is that a weakness? A heavy blow is unleashed as the flaming weapon swings with lethal force. No one can withstand this crushing strike. Even an outer can't shrug off a direct hit from a god's own weapon. He draws Searcher's sword, the blade literally forged to burn the world down. He knows exactly how this ends. It's time to turn the tide. He lets out a battle cry that shakes the very foundations of the temple. A cataclysmic blast obliterates the earth in a blinding flash of raw power. The ground shatters instantly under the weight of this unstoppable strike. The beast howls in agony. A blinding flash of golden energy erupts as he unleashes a devastating, high-speed strike. The battlefield trembles under the sheer force of this lethal clash. An overwhelming aura of raw power erupts as his eyes blaze with lethal intent. There's no escaping the predator's gaze now. A colossal blast of golden energy erupts, obliterating everything in its path. The warrior stands firm as raw, overwhelming power tears through the battlefield. He realizes the outer is just a parasite, using other creatures as a shell. Finally, the true, disgusting main body reveals itself. Wait, is that just a giant hairless boar? It looks ridiculous, but don't let the looks fool you. It's deadly. A lethal spear strikes from the shadows, barely missing its mark. Tension spikes as the warrior narrowly evades a fatal blow. He brandishes the spear of radiance. Bryanak. This is the weapon of Luff, the god who never misses his mark. Can this oversized pig survive a strike from a god? A blinding pillar of pure energy crashes down, obliterating the monster in a single, devastating strike. The monstrous beast unleashes a terrifying, void-like blast of raw energy. Absolute destruction is imminent. The air shatters as he unleashes a devastating, explosive strike. Nothing can withstand this overwhelming surge of raw power. He's done it. He's officially the first player to ever take down an outer. Bathed in blinding radiance, a lone warrior stands on the precipice of destiny. The weight of his journey settles as he prepares to face the divine unknown. The system acknowledges his historic achievement. The Chronos hourglass begins its final sequence. The vault of greed starts to crumble into nothingness. Without an owner, the vault is reclaiming its treasures. But wait, he's still inside with the golden key. The system reclassifies him. Jong Soo-won is the new master of the vault. The maw of gluttony is finally defeated. A new, terrifying power is bestowed upon him as a reward for his victory. He wonders what this strange, new sensation is. Reality begins to warp as his very existence is rewritten. The system awakens. Our hero is shrouded in a blinding light as he undergoes a legendary transformation. His old skills are wiped clean, erased from existence. His experiences reset, bringing him back to the very beginning. Reality shatters as the film strips of time tear through the void. Every second is being ripped apart in a flash of raw, blinding power. Loading, returning to the tutorial. Progress bar, 10%, 140%. That's not how math works. But okay, a massive crowd materializes out of thin air, signaling the arrival of a dangerous new force. The tension spikes as the battlefield suddenly overflows with unexpected enemies. He blinks, confused. He was just at work. What's going on? The transition is abrupt, and he's clearly not in the office anymore. A holographic screen beams in front of him. Welcome to the tutorial. A tutorial? He's been through hell and back, and now he's back at the starting line. He realizes with a jolt, he's actually back in the past. The system ID flickers, confirming his return. Everyone around him is panicking, asking questions nobody has answers to. Typical humans, always freaking out at the first sign of an apocalypse. He tries to get his bearings, ignoring the chaos. A stranger grabs him, desperate for any shred of information. He looks at the man. He remembers this guy. The shadows deepen and a crimson malice erupts from the darkness. Something terrifying is about to be unleashed. He remembers exactly how this man dies, brutally and quickly. He tells him to stay cool, but it's probably a lost cause. The man keeps screaming, completely failing the stay calm challenge. Is this a hidden camera prank? Some people really struggle with denial in a crisis. Or is it something far more sinister? He sighs, no point in explaining things to people who are about to be monster fodder. Once the wave begins, the survivors will have no choice but to toughen up. The countdown begins. Tutorial Chapter 1. Adaptation. 4 minutes until the first wave. Everyone starts screaming as the timer appears in the sky. Maybe they should spend less time yelling and more time running? Everything is unfolding exactly as he remembers it. He checks his status board, level 1, but with stats that definitely aren't normal. He thinks back to his former self, clueless and weak. He realizes now just how much power he actually has. If you're enjoying this recap, smash that like button and subscribe for more. He stares in shock at the screen. What exactly are these forbidden authorities of greed and gluttony? Could the legends actually be true? A system notification blares. The vault of greed has collapsed, leaving no master behind. With the golden key in hand, the system officially recognizes Jung Soo-won as the new owner of the vault. He realizes his gut feeling was spot on all along. A wild thought crosses his mind. Does this mean he can wield that terrifying power for himself? A legendary loot box materializes out of thin air, pulsating with untold power. The ultimate prize is finally within reach. An overwhelming surge of golden energy erupts, shattering the silence. The atmosphere crackles with raw, unstoppable power. The Vault of Greed is officially open for business. He unlocks the breath of the Fire Dragon, the scorching signature move of the Red Dragon Firelax, the legendary Mjolnir, the very hammer wielded by the God of Thunder, is now at his fingertips. He gains the heavenly demon commanding martial arts, a technique passed down through generations of absolute power. With this kind of arsenal, he might actually stand a chance against the outsiders, but the tutorial isn't waiting. The first monster wave is already here. The system demands a trial by fire. Defend against the incoming wave or perish. Panic sets in as the others realize the nightmare is starting. What are they supposed to do now? Silence falls over the group as the gravity of the situation sinks in. Wait, is that a beast lurking in the distance? A wolf? The monster wave is literally a pack of hungry wolves. The beast lets out a blood-curdling roar, baring its razor-sharp fangs for the kill. Absolute carnage is about to unfold. They stand paralyzed as the pack closes the distance. Someone screams to run, but the wolves are swarming from every direction. Chaos erupts as the survivors realize they are completely surrounded. They're being flanked from behind, leaving them nowhere to run. Despair washes over the group. Is this really how they die? A single, decisive step lands on the ground, signaling that the hunt is officially on. The pressure is mounting as the intruder makes their presence known. He stares them down, coldly declaring that if they want to survive, they have to fight. One survivor shouts in disbelief. Does this guy even understand how screwed they are? They argue that they have no weapons, calling his plan absolutely insane. Tensions skyrocket as he's caught in a brutal, point-blank confrontation. He's being hoisted up by his collar, and there's nowhere left to hide. Kang Hanchiol growls, demanding to know if he actually has a plan or if he's just talking big. The air is thick with desperation and the smell of impending doom. He calmly tells them to focus on defense while he handles the wolves personally. The others watch in confusion. How does he plan to solo an entire pack? He taps into the vault of greed and activates the 10 Paths martial arts, focusing on the brutal strikes of the Shaolin sect. The skill activates and his aura shifts. It's time to test out his new authority. He narrows his eyes, ready to unleash the power. The wolves lunge, but he doesn't flinch. He channels the 10 Paths martial arts with a lethal, calculated grace. With a swift movement, he strikes, leaving the beasts yelping in pain. He is moving faster than the eye can follow. The wolves are starting to realize they picked the wrong prey. With a deafening boom, he launches himself forward at breakneck speed. There's no escaping the raw power behind this sudden, explosive charge. With a desperate leap, he narrowly evades the jaws of the ravenous beasts. The hunt is on, and there's no room for error. A single, devastating strike obliterates the pack in a flash of pure destruction. The battlefield is torn apart as the enemy is wiped out in one fell swoop. The survivors watch, stunned. Who the hell is this guy? They can't believe he's handling these monsters with nothing but his bare hands. A cold sweat breaks as his heart hammers against his ribs. Something just shifted, and the tension is absolutely suffocating. They realize he was hiding his true strength all along, and they were completely oblivious. With a thunderous kick off the ground, he launches into the air with explosive speed. The shockwave trails behind as he lunges straight into the fray. He feels a strange, burning sensation deep inside his chest. It isn't fear or impatience. It's something far more primal. Pure terror takes hold as the beast's jaws slam shut with a bone-chilling thud. Caught in a moment of absolute panic, the predator is visibly shaken. A shadow falls over his eyes as he clenches his fist in fury. The time for mercy is over. He mutters to himself that the beast's struggle is just a distraction. He's completely focused on the kill. With a brutal grip, he slams the beast's face into the ground. The predator is completely at his mercy. With a cold, shadowed gaze, he slams his opponent into the earth with bone-crushing force. No mercy is shown as he completely dominates the battlefield. The survivors cheer in shock. He actually knocked them out with his bare hands. The impossible has happened, and the tide of the battle is shifting. They realize they might actually survive this if they stick together. Someone desperately calls out for anything that can be used as a makeshift weapon. A piercing gaze ignites with crimson intensity. The predator has locked onto its target. He notes that while his raw strength is still growing, his technique is flawless. Every blow he lands is perfectly calculated to dismantle the enemy. The other fighters watch in awe. His style is completely unlike anything they've ever seen. A burning desire to fight alongside him ignites in their hearts. They are ready to follow his lead into the heart of the battle. Sweat drips as he steels his nerves, bracing for the brutal trial ahead. The air grows heavy with anticipation before the storm. He wipes his brow, noting that the worst of the wave is finally wrapping up. He admits he's exhausted, his body not quite used to this level of exertion yet. A sudden surge of terrifying power freezes him in his tracks. His eyes widen as the raw energy erupts around him. What is this suffocating pressure? He realizes he's being watched by an overwhelming, divine presence. The system announces, the constellation Bowed Raven is watching your every move. A constellation? Here? He realizes with a jolt that the Bowed Raven was the original owner of the vault he just looted. If you're enjoying this recap, smash that like button and subscribe for more. The Harbinger of Death descends, bathing the throne room in a terrifying aura of violet shadow. Darkness takes form as the plague-masked entity claims its seat of power. He breaks into a cold sweat. Did the demon god of greed notice he was using his stolen power? He panics internally. If the god finds out he raided the warehouse, he's as good as dead. He wonders if he should hide his abilities before things get worse. The system alerts him. The constellation Bowing Crow has detected traces of distorted causality. The Bowed Raven simply nods, recalling the existence of the hourglass with a dark smirk. Pure shock consumes him as an overwhelming, unseen force erupts right before his eyes. The tables have turned in an instant. The Bowing Crow just smiles, and honestly, that's even more terrifying than if he were screaming. The beasts have been brutally silenced, leaving only the shadow of a victor standing tall over their corpses. One swift strike was all it took to end the threat. He realizes the god is aware of everything but refuses to react. Is this some kind of sick game? It's suspicious, but he decides to treat the silence as implicit permission to continue. If the god isn't stopping him, he's going to use this power to the absolute limit. He sets his sights on the next authority. The maw of gluttony has been vanquished. The power of gluttony is now bestowed upon the player, Jong Se-won. A surge of raw, crackling energy erupts from his fingertips. The power is unleashed, and there's no turning back now. The power of gluttony is finally his. The system demands a target designation. A target? Does it have to be alive? He looks at the pile of wolf corpses. Does this even work on the dead? He decides to test his theory immediately. A terrifying ambush strikes from the shadows, leaving him caught in the jaws of death. He's completely surrounded by monstrous power with nowhere to run. The earth shatters as colossal, shadow-infused jaws snap shut with devastating force. Nothing can escape this crushing, supernatural onslaught. A terrifying abyss of shadow and razor-sharp teeth snaps shut. Nothing escapes the hunger of these monstrous jaws. The system pings, brown wolf consumed. Nutrients absorbed, stats increased. Wait, seriously? By just consuming the corpses, his stats are actually climbing. If he can do this whenever he wants, he's going to become a monster in no time. The beast lies slaughtered at his feet, but our hero doesn't even break a sweat. He stands cold and composed, completely unimpressed by the carnage. The blade strikes true, carving a path of destruction through the air. A single, lethal swing seals his opponent's fate. He suddenly worries if he's doing this. Did Beelzebub notice too? He really needs to stop getting carried away and using divine powers without thinking. High above, the constellation Hungry Prince stops eating, looking down at him with genuine curiosity. The pressure of being watched by a god is starting to get old. He got lucky with Mammon, but Beelzebub is a whole different level of dangerous. He can't count on luck to save his skin forever. The Hungry Prince opens his mouth to speak, but instead just stuffs more food into his face. Is this guy seriously obsessed with eating? Or is he just trying to ignore the awkwardness? Maybe, just maybe, this weird obsession can be used to his advantage. If he feeds the god, maybe he can get away with anything. A cold, calculated smirk spreads across his face as he prepares to unleash chaos. Everything is going exactly according to plan. If the god wants to eat, he'll make sure there's plenty to go around. Power of gluttony, activate. He unleashes a terrifying swarm of shadowy, clawed tendrils to crush his foes. No one escapes the reach of his dark, predatory power. He consumes another wolf, savoring the stat boost. The hungry prince cheers as the feast continues, his mood noticeably improving. It's working exactly as he expected. The god is far too distracted to care about the rules. The stats are climbing, and he's feeling stronger by the second. The gains are smaller now, but at this point, he'll take whatever he can get. His goal isn't just raw stats. It's something much bigger. He taunts the god. Surely you aren't full already? The hungry prince drools, claiming that was merely an appetizer. He realizes this isn't just training. It's a high-stakes negotiation with a deity. A sudden, violent gust rips through the forest, sending leaves spiraling into the chaos. The calm is shattered as an unseen force tears through the trees. He gasps for air, his lungs burning. The exhaustion is finally starting to catch up with him. They've done it. The wolves have all been defeated. The crowd erupts into a frenzied celebration, raining down blows upon their enemies with ruthless intensity. No mercy is shown as they crush everything in their path. Tutorial Chapter 1 complete. Adaptation successful. Every participant receives 50 points for their survival. Everyone stands in disbelief, looking at their system rewards. It's a miracle, not a single person was lost during the first wave. The battlefield falls silent as he locks his gaze, his eyes burning with a cold, unwavering resolve. A storm is brewing, and he's ready to face it head-on. In the original timeline, there were tons of casualties. His intervention clearly changed the outcome. The system starts calculating individual contributions. First place, Jong Se-won with a massive 220 points. 220 points, a solid start, but he knows he needs much more. These points are crucial for his future growth in the tutorial. The higher the rank, the better the rewards, and he's aiming for the top. Better rewards mean a better chance of catching the eye of a high-tier constellation. His goal is absolute dominance. A cold, piercing gaze locks onto the target. The calm before the storm has finally broken. He's not stopping until he's in first place for good. After surviving the first wave, he realizes one critical thing is missing. A cold, piercing glare cuts through the air. He isn't just watching. He's already planned your downfall. He needs a weapon, and he needs it fast. He decides to use weapons to compensate for his physical limits. He plans to scour the forest, raise his stats, and hunt for something truly useful. The air turns cold as a single, deliberate step halts the chaos. The predator has arrived. As his stats climb, he'll also be able to loot better treasures from Mammon's warehouse. Someone screams for him to wait. He's heading out alone. But that voice, it sounds strangely familiar. Could it really be her? It's none other than Yu Seowa, the legendary whirlwind, from before the regression. He can't believe his eyes. Yu Seowa is actually here. He might forget a face, but he could never forget the legend herself. She was a top-tier ranker in the tower, standing tall right alongside Kong Hancheol. She wasn't just good. She was one of the absolute best in the entire tower. A surge of raw, ethereal power erupts as she prepares to unleash a devastating strike. The battlefield trembles before her overwhelming aura. She demands to know where he thinks he's going all by himself. She's stressed out, arguing that every second counts now that the tutorial has begun. He, however, clearly has zero patience for this lecture. He tells her he's just getting a feel for the area. Staying put is a recipe for disaster. She insists they gather to discuss a strategy for the next wave. But honestly, does she think a meeting will stop a monster? She argues that talking will at least calm everyone's nerves. How cute. He cuts her off. He doesn't have time to explain his master plan to everyone. She keeps pushing for a plan to ease their anxiety, but he knows they'll just be hiding again once the next wave hits. She warns him that going alone is a death sentence, but he's already checked out. The silence is awkward. Really, really awkward. The tutorial continues, Chapter 1, Adaptation, with the clock ticking down to the second monster wave. The countdown is relentless. Less than 3 hours left until the nightmare returns. Time is running out fast, and the stakes couldn't be higher. He tells her to pay attention to the system messages. They're the only thing that matters now. If she's so bored, she can hold her little meeting, but he's already moving on. He tells her to stop wasting time and go find a sturdy stick or something useful instead. She's left fuming as he walks away. The countdown hits 15. A sudden yelp echoes through the trees. A mysterious figure steps out of the shadows, their arrival slicing through the silence. The tension is palpable as they make their move. Wolves are everywhere, but he isn't scared, he's excited. It's the perfect opportunity to farm some stats. Dark tendrils of pure energy erupt from his hand, tearing through the beasts with ruthless precision. He unleashes a savage onslaught that leaves no room for mercy. He devours the wolf, but he's already hit the limit on that specific snack. The hungry prince constellation is whining. He's already bored of the flavor. He can't believe the god is complaining already. He scoffs. It's the demon god of gluttony, after all. He's not satisfied with mere wolf meat. He promises to find something tastier if the god just hangs on for a minute. The hungry prince swallows the ribs whole, eyes sparkling with gluttonous delight. It's time for a little experiment. He invokes the power of greed. The treasure vault of greed swings wide open. He spots the legendary swordgram, the weapon that once took down the dragon Fafnir. The treasures in the vault can only be retrieved as formless power. They've lost their physical forms, but the power remains, and he's ready to claim it all. If he infuses that power into a decent item, he's basically crafting a legendary weapon on the fly. The potential is infinite. The energy begins to swirl. Dark, crackling energy surges uncontrollably from his palm. A forbidden power is awakening. It's too much, the item shatters under the weight of the legendary power. He realizes he's playing with fire. He survived the basic martial arts manual, but anything stronger could turn him into dust. Plus, the power of greed is exclusive to him. Is the target even compatible? He tests a worthless treasure on a wolf just to see if others can handle the power. The conclusion is simple. He needs to get stronger before he can handle the good stuff. The air grows heavy as mysterious shadows dance against the mountain peaks. A storm of dark energy is brewing, and everything is about to change. For now, he just needs a reliable weapon. He nods to himself, focused on the task at hand. Searching this forest is a pain, and he really misses having a guide to find things for him. He calls upon the power of greed once more. The vault opens again, ready for business. He selects Gnaw's Snout, a low-level monster ability that tracks prey with an incredible sense of smell. The ability takes over his body, sharpening his senses. A heavy, ominous silence falls as he shuts his eyes, bracing for the storm to come. The tension reaches a breaking point as a ferocious, glowing beast lunges out of the shadows. Panic erupts in a flash of blinding, lethal energy. Eyes wide and senses screaming, he whips around to face a sudden, unexpected threat. The ambush is on. He spots the movement there. A lightning-fast kick tears through the air. There's absolutely no time to react. The metallic scent of rust confirms his suspicions. A sudden notification pierces the silence, catching his sharp gaze. The game is about to change forever. The hungry prince is whining again, complaining that the skin is stuck to his back. Seriously, this god is more of a diva than a celestial being. Dealing with a constellation is starting to feel like babysitting a moody pig. The target is further away than he thought. He catches a scent, but then something else catches his attention. Wait, there's another smell mixing in. No way. Could it be? A monstrous claw slams into the earth with lethal force. The hunt has officially begun. A towering beast stalks from the shadows, locking its prey in a deadly gaze. The hunt has officially begun. What kind of monster is this? A lethal predator emerges from the shadows with a chilling, glowing gaze. Every heavy step echoes with the promise of imminent slaughter. The beast awakens with lethal intent, its glowing eyes locking onto prey. Death draws near as those fangs prepare to tear everything apart. The air goes cold as his eyes lock onto the enemy with pure, unadulterated rage. There's no turning back now. The slaughter is about to begin. A gray wolf. It tracked him just as easily as he tracked it. Before the regression, he would have just run away like a coward. The ground trembles as overwhelming power surges through his very stride. A terrifying aura erupts, signaling that the real battle is about to begin. 10 seconds left. The final countdown is here. This time, he's not running. A feral beast lunges with lethal intent, bearing razor-sharp fangs for the kill. The predator strikes, leaving no room for escape. The beast lets out a blood-curdling growl. It's not just huge, it's a monster among monsters. It's significantly faster than the brown wolves. This is no ordinary creature. This is a true threat. A jagged blade slices deep, drawing a chilling trail of crimson down his throat. The tension hits its breaking point as blood begins to spill. It went straight for his jugular, a perfect kill shot. If he hadn't mastered that footwork, he'd be a corpse right now. The savage beast lunges with lethal intent, bearing its razor-sharp fangs for the kill. A split-second strike that leaves no room for mercy. The protagonist lunges forward with explosive speed, closing the distance in a blur of lethal intent. He's locked onto his target, and there's no turning back now. He executes a perfect reverse kick. A sudden, chilling realization hits him square in the face. His eyes widen in pure, unadulterated shock. Something is wrong. Static electricity crackles as a dangerous pressure grips the air. Something terrifying is about to be unleashed. Is it because his stats are too low to make a dent? He hit it square in the belly, but it didn't even flinch. Why is this thing so tough? He has the strength, but he lacks the edge to finish the job. He's running out of options fast. If you're enjoying this recap, smash that like button and subscribe for more. There has to be a way to win this. He grits his teeth, looking for an opening. The beast bares its razor-sharp fangs, ready to tear everything in its path to shreds. Death is lurking just inches away. He needs a miracle. That's it. He's got an idea. He taunts the remaining brown wolves. Are they still alive? This is getting desperate. At this rate, he won't even be able to run away. He's pushed into a corner. A pair of ferocious beasts lunges forward with jaws bared for the kill. Their bloodthirsty assault leaves no room for escape. A battle-worn blade is drawn with lethal intent. The steel is stained, but the grip is firm. It looks like a piece of rusty junk at first glance, but the edge is still razor-sharp and ready for blood. He's found his equalizer. Just as he suspected. For a weapon like this, the potential is hidden beneath the grime. It's the best sword he can possibly hope to find right now. The constellation-bowed raven watches him with a strangely impressed expression. He found the objective of his journey. Now that he has the upper hand, he's done playing games. He's going to finish this before the next wave arrives. A monstrous beast emerges from the shadows, eyes burning with bloodthirsty intent. The hunt is on, and nowhere is safe. He activates Greed's domination. The treasure trove of greed opens, flooding him with power. He unlocks the Hamel family's core swordsmanship, a legendary technique reserved only for the elite. Everything is about to change. The beast erupts in a deafening, blood-curdling roar. Pure, unadulterated rage takes over as it prepares to tear everything apart. A blur of steel slices through the air with lethal precision. The strike is too fast to follow. A ferocious energy blast erupts as he unleashes a devastating strike. The beast is caught dead in its tracks by a blast of pure, unadulterated power. The beast lets out a pained shriek. Now is his chance to end it. The savage beast lunges with lethal intent, but a blinding flash of energy cuts through the air. It's trapped in a web of pure power, nowhere to run. He's got the beast exactly where he wants it. The growls are getting desperate. The monstrous wolf stands battered and bloodied, its eyes burning with pure, unadulterated rage. It lets out a lethal, guttural growl that signals the beginning of a brutal slaughter. He confirms it with a grin. The plan is working perfectly. He explains that the swordsmanship is top tier, backed by a legendary family line, so its effectiveness is guaranteed. With a lethal glare and lightning speed, he lunges forward to deliver a crushing strike. No one escapes his blade. He shouts for the final blow, ready to end the fight once and for all. The battle reaches its peak, but someone is clearly more interested in advertising than fighting. With a lightning-fast motion, he draws his blade. The steel sings as it leaves the scabbard, signaling the start of a deadly clash. The environment flickers with strange, distorted energy as the reality of the game sets in. A sharp caw echoes through the woods, signaling that trouble is nearby. A deep, guttural growl shakes the ground. A notification rings out. The grave-heaping wolf boss has been defeated. The system rewards his victory, even if the ad breaks keep popping up. He levels up, and the rush of power is absolutely intoxicating. His personal merit points surge by 500 in an instant. He harvests the gray wolf skin, proving that even a dead wolf has its uses. Beyond the loot, he has a bigger goal, increasing his personal merit score. Another 500 merit points secured. The grind never stops for this guy. There are several ways to climb the rankings, and he plans to use them all. Method number 1. Being a total menace in battle, just like in the tutorial. Method number 2. Hunting down monsters in the wild like a pro. And then there is the third, much darker method. By hunting down other players. A ruthless band of masked assassins strikes from the shadows, leaving only blood and chaos in their wake. No one is safe from this cold-blooded ambush. Why work hard when you can just steal someone else's effort? The logic is twisted but efficient. His power of gluttony begins to pulse with dark energy. He devours the remains of the wolf, absorbing its essence and boosting his core stats. The system confirms it. Boss monsters are basically walking protein shakes for his stats. The Hungry Prince and Beelzebub are both licking their lips, thoroughly impressed by the snack. With the fight over, he takes a moment to inspect his new inventory. He examines the Forgotten Hero's sword, a rusty relic that packs a serious punch against monsters. Next up, the Grey Wolf's hide, not exactly high fashion, but it gets the job done. The hide grants a charisma boost and strikes fear into enemies, perfect for a budding leader. He calculates the potential. With a bit of polish, this gear could be top tier. The constellations are watching closely. Even the grumpy ones can't deny he's got potential. He checks the clock. Only minutes left until the next wave hits. Talk about cutting it close. The tutorial countdown ticks down, and the pressure is mounting. 12 minutes left. He better start running. He shifts into high gear, desperate to make it back in time. The second wave begins, and the call to action rings out across the forest. A sudden, unnatural tremor rips through the forest. Darkness descends as the tranquil woods are shattered by an ominous, unseen force. He realizes he's late to the party. The wave started before he could even reach the site. He remembers his promise to use Sioa, but honestly, he's more focused on the loot. He brushes it off. No big deal if he's a little late, right? This is the perfect chance to see who's actually useful and who's just dead weight. The chaos unfolds, and he treats it like a front-row seat to a disaster movie. He has zero patience for teammates who drag him down. It's survival of the fittest. Panic ensues as a boar charges, and the poor rookies are losing their minds. Someone screams for them to hold the line, but it's pure bedlam out there. Watching these guys try to fight is honestly more entertaining than the monsters themselves. With a desperate, bone-crushing swing, she delivers a lethal blow to the beast. One strike is all it takes to seal the monster's fate. The massacre has officially begun. With a gaze colder than ice, he stands ready to unleash absolute carnage. The hunt begins now. The panic-stricken survivors are shouting orders they can't even follow. A former corporate employee tries to pull rank, but reality hits him harder than the boar. He screams at his subordinates to fight, showing that corporate culture really does follow you into the apocalypse. You can't escape useless co-workers, even when you're fighting for your life in a fantasy world. Hiding in the shadows, he keeps a sharp eye on his target. Not a single movement escapes his cold, calculated gaze. He's genuinely surprised. They're actually putting up a decent fight. Kong Hanchiol and Usioa are proving they've got some grit. For people with no gear, they're holding their own better than expected. They clearly have the potential to grow into something dangerous. But observation time is over. It's time for him to step in and show them how it's done. The monsters are hitting harder than the wolves, and the survivors are struggling to keep up. He steps into the fray with a calm, predatory focus. The monstrous beast lunges forward with a terrifying, toothy grin. This savage predator is out for blood. The waves keep coming, and the stamina of the survivors is failing. Blood is spilled, and the situation is getting dire. He wonders why they're struggling so hard against such low-level fodder. If you're going to die, at least make it look cool for the readers. His words echo through the battlefield, cutting through the noise. They're at their limit, and he knows it. It's time to change the tide. With a grip of pure steel, he tightens his hold on the weapon. The tension is palpable as he prepares to unleash chaos. They just need to hold on for a few more seconds. Just a little bit more and the slaughter can really begin. The shadows part to reveal a gaze colder than death itself. There is nowhere left to hide. A chilling realization freezes her in her tracks as golden eyes widen in pure shock. Something terrifying has just shattered her world. With a lethal strike, she slams her weapon down, crushing the monsters beneath her. There's no backing down now. It's kill or be killed. The action is heating up, and so is the ad revenue, apparently. He calls out to the survivors, ready to take command. He tells them to focus on the immediate threats first. A stampede of monstrous boars charges forward with lethal intent. Their eyes glow with madness as they close in for the kill. He cracks open the vault of greed, ready to use everything he's got. He retrieves the high orc tendons. These are going to make him hit like a freight train. He's not sure if his body can handle the boost, but he's willing to roll the dice. There's only one way to find out. Put it to the test right now. Death descends from above as the swordsman launches a lethal aerial strike. The beast never stood a chance. The dormant power awakens. A cold, piercing glow ignites within his gaze, signaling that the hunt has truly begun. With a brutal, precise strike, he plunges his blade deep into the beast. The monster never stood a chance against this lethal blow. With a single lethal strike, he brings the beast to its knees, but the pack is already closing in for blood. The blade leaves the scabbard with a lethal flash. Steel meets destiny in a single lightning-fast draw. A single lightning-fast strike slices through the air, carving the charging beast in two. The hunter's blade flashes, leaving nothing but destruction in its wake. If you're enjoying this recap, smash that like button and subscribe for more. The high orc tendons are doing their job. He feels stronger and more in control than ever. He turns his attention to the CEO, who's still trying to boss people around. The CEO compliments his fighting style, oblivious to how much he's about to be used. He's clearly impressed, but he's also just looking for a bodyguard to hide behind. The CEO is already plotting his next move to secure his safety. He asks him to be his personal bodyguard, sweetening the deal with promises of power. The CEO flashes his credentials, acting like his corporate title matters in a forest full of man-eating boars. He offers a generous reward, desperate to buy himself a shield. He even offers a department head position, as if a promotion matters when you're about to be boar food. He's so confident in his deal, but he has no idea who he's talking to. He wants a meat shield, and he's willing to pay for it. What a classic corporate maneuver. He stops him mid-sentence, the audacity of the request finally sinking in. A quick, decisive blow shuts the CEO up for good. He asks the guy if he's lost his mind, and honestly, he's got a point. He tosses the CEO into the fray, for boars should keep him busy enough to stop talking. A savage pack of wild boars charges out of the darkness. Terror strikes as the unsuspecting duo finds themselves in the crosshairs of a deadly stampede. The CEO is panicking, clearly realizing that money doesn't stop teeth. The battlefield erupts into chaos as our hero remains ice-cold while obliterating his foes in a single strike. One swing is all it takes to silence the stampede. Surrounded by an angry mob, the duo stands their ground against the looming threat. With weapons in hand, they prepare for a desperate fight for survival. The constellation Bowed Crow watches with a sly grin. He loves a good betrayal. The hungry prince is bored with the weaklings. He wants to see more carnage. The hunt is over and the spoils are laid bare. These survivors stand victorious over the fallen beasts, but the tension in the air is far from gone. The system announces the completion of the second wave. Survival is the only reward that matters. Points are tallied, and the survivors get their cut of the loot. The leaderboard is updated. Jung Se-woon is miles ahead of the competition. He consumes the brown boar, not for style points, but for the gains. The system confirms the stat boost, strength and vitality are going up, up, up. The hungry prince is absolutely delighted, devouring the essence of the kill. He keeps one carcass aside. Even a hero has to eat, and wolf meat is just too gross. He's got the experience of a survivor. He knows exactly how bad monster meat can be. That rusty blade is annoying, but he doesn't have the luxury of complaining right now. A survivor speaks up, offering to help with the butchering. With a sharp turn, he locks eyes on his target. The hunt is officially on. The guy offers his services. Turns out he was a chef in his past life. He knows how to prep meat, which is a rare skill in this hellhole. That's a relief. He's more than happy to outsource the kitchen work. Another survivor offers to gather firewood and set up a camp near a water source. They're finally acting like a team, but there's one tiny problem. How do they start a fire? The realization hits them. They're totally unprepared for a cold night. He opens the vault of greed again, looking for a solution. He's got exactly what they need to keep the darkness at bay. He pulls out Chasha's ember, a small, eternal flame that's perfect for the job. He lights the fire, and suddenly, the camp feels a lot safer. A monstrous boar erupts from the flames, charging with lethal intent. The night air screams as this beast brings pure destruction. After a grueling battle, our hero finally takes a well-deserved, savage bite of his feast. Nothing fuels a legend quite like a massive slab of meat. The constellation, the hungry prince, licks his lips at the delicious aroma. He's practically drooling. He's got a goal. He needs to eat 100 of these things to reach his next power spike. A mysterious figure looms in the shadows, catching our lone traveler off guard. Silence shatters as an unexpected visitor arrives at the campfire. The stranger offers a drink, but the atmosphere is tense. A sudden presence catches him off guard mid-meal. He whips his head around to face the mysterious guest. A legendary blade is unsheathed, crackling with an ominous, otherworldly power. The stage is set for a clash that will shake the very heavens. They spot his sword and get jealous, but he just calls it luck. It's obvious they're green with envy over his gear. He reminds them that raw talent means nothing if you're still swinging a wooden stick. He points to the system message floating in the air, mocking their confusion. 100 points. What could it mean? The mystery is just getting started. He explains that with enough points, one can purchase a sword simply by focusing on the items to trigger the shop menu. The group is stunned. It feels exactly like jumping into a video game. He warns them that in this world, speed of adaptation is the only thing standing between them and death. The system is harsh, but at least it's organized. Unlike my messy desk. Someone is absolutely losing their mind over how cool this is. He brushes off the praise, claiming he just adapted to the absurdity of the situation faster than the rest. The others are struggling to keep up with his pace, questioning how he's always 2 steps ahead. He reminds everyone that the system isn't just a gimmick. It's survival. The tension eases slightly as they share information, though the stakes remain dangerously high. He eyes his allies, already calculating how to use them to his advantage in the coming chaos. The flames vanish in a haunting wisp of smoke. The warmth is gone, leaving only an eerie, chilling silence behind. The timer ticks down. Less than an hour before the next wave. Someone is already yawning as if they didn't just almost die. Panic sets in as they realize they have absolutely no idea what to do next. He orders them to gather stones and branches. It's not much, but support from the back line is better than standing around like target practice. Every branch they find is a potential weapon. They have to use whatever they can scavenge to stay alive. The atmosphere has shifted completely. The fear is being replaced by a desperate, focused resolve. With Siwa acting as a focal point, the group's panic starts to subside, allowing for actual coordination. He takes advantage of the distraction, shifting his focus to hunting for a hidden treasure piece. A notification chimes. The treasure vault of greed has finally been unlocked. He discovers the blue mana circle, an exclusive training method reserved for the elite mages of the Blue Tower. The mana circle, the very foundation of all magical arts. It's the essential core that every aspiring mage needs to cast even the simplest spells. Although known as the least efficient of the 7 towers, its methods are still leagues above anything else here. He studies the various techniques, realizing that knowledge is just as powerful as raw strength. He plans to build a solid foundation with the Blue Tower's method before layering on more advanced techniques. And he can't ignore the Dantian. That's the key to bridging the gap between magic and martial arts. With a sharp intake of breath, he steels his resolve. The calm before the storm has arrived. He realizes that while mana circles fuel magic, the Dantian is the engine for physical combat prowess. With his eyes firmly shut, he channels every ounce of his focus for the final strike. The tension is palpable as he prepares to unleash his hidden power. He envisions his energy moving like a river, effortless, smooth, and unstoppable. Channeling the secrets of Mammon, he masters his breathing to harmonize his internal energy. The world fades away as he channels an overwhelming, celestial power. A storm of pure energy erupts, signaling the awakening of a true monster. He can feel it, the energy responding deep within his own lungs. He reaches out, carefully coaxing the trapped power to flow in sync with his body. He invites the energy to take root, making it a permanent part of his strength. It's an invitation to power, a pact between the user and the energy itself. Only the most compatible currents of mana answer his call. The count begins, the energy is coalescing. His heart becomes the vessel housing the newly formed power. Success. He has forged his very first mana circle using the Blue Tower's ancient method. With this cycle complete, the level and speed of his magic will skyrocket. The system rewards his genius with 1,000 points, a massive windfall for his progress. Even the constellations are watching, their eyes wide with shock at his rapid evolution. The Heavenly Mother herself can't hide her admiration for his talent. The gods are buzzing. The heavy hitters are finally taking notice of this rising star. He's already backed by Mammon and Beelzebub. He doesn't need to be anyone else's lapdog. Compared to his patrons, these minor constellations are small fish in a big pond. The hungry prince looks on with envy, jealous of the spectacle unfolding. The bowing crow, clearly annoyed, pulls out a rare treasure to assert his dominance. A sudden, blinding flash tears through the darkness. He's caught something in his sights. The bowing crow ruthlessly cuts off the feed, blocking the lower-ranked constellations from watching the show. To interfere with the system like that requires immense power. Just how strong is this guy? The hungry prince is just happy to have the competition out of the way so he can watch in peace. With the deities silenced, he turns his focus back to his training. Despite the critics, he knows the Blue Tower's method is the perfect fit for his current path. He can feel the mana reinforcing his circle, growing stronger with every pulse. Hyung! A voice snaps him out of his trance. Someone is confused, asking if he's been sleeping while sitting up. Talk about a weird hobby. The timer is down to 12 minutes. The panic is back in full force. He's finally back in the room, but his stoic attitude is already annoying people. They thought he died from inactivity, but he was just busy becoming a god while they were napping. Someone tries to play nice, acting like they're all best friends now that the monsters are coming. Park Jong-pil, a name that spells trouble. He remembers this guy from the past, a total bottom feeder who preyed on the weak. Jong-pil was the type to scream that the elderly should die so the young could survive. Charming guy. The power dynamic has shifted, and suddenly, the bully is playing the role of the humble servant. A classic coward, aggressive toward the weak, but pathetic in the face of true strength. He needles Jong-pil, noting that the guy doesn't seem to have many friends. I wonder why. He still remembers being pushed into the forest as bait by this exact person in his previous life. That past betrayal is exactly why he's so prepared now. He learned to survive the hard way. He puts Jong-pil on the spot, asking about his speed. The guy's face turns pale instantly. He's setting the trap. Watching a bully get played is my favorite pastime. He tells Jong-pil he's going to be the bait. The look on his face is priceless. The tutorial's third wave has officially begun. Time to prove who actually belongs in this world. If you're enjoying this recap, smash that like button and subscribe for more. Here they come. The monsters are swarming in from all sides. He shouts for everyone to stay in formation. If they hold the line, they might just survive the night. The formation is set, but can they hold it? The order is given. Stab them and don't look back. There are way too many of them, and the group is already starting to buckle under the pressure. The formation is collapsing. If they don't stabilize, they're all going to be monster food. Desperation is rising. They need a miracle, and they need it 5 minutes ago. A desperate, chaotic melee erupts as the defenders clash against a relentless swarm of monsters. Steel rings out in the heat of battle as the line begins to buckle under the assault. The real nightmare begins now. Jong-pil is panicking, complaining about his slow feet while the monsters close in. He barks the order to move, leaving no room for excuses. A scream pierces the air as the first line of defense is breached. A monster lunges, catching the defenders off guard. It's getting ugly. The cries of pain are filling the forest. The hunter freezes as a pack of bloodthirsty beasts looms over him, eyes glowing with murderous intent. There's no escaping this suffocating wall of pure malice. The scream of a man realizing he's about to be lunch. A brutal strike lands, and the situation goes from bad to catastrophic. The monsters are faster than anyone anticipated. His plan is already being tested to the limit. Jong-pil is begging for his life, proving exactly what kind of person he really is. He calls the bait over, ready to spring his own trap. The countdown to the end of the bait's usefulness begins. The monsters are closing in, and the panic is reaching a fever pitch. The treasure vault of greed pulses with energy as he prepares to act. The final piece of the puzzle falls into place. He unveils the fireball, a signature spell of the Red Tower, enhanced to be even more destructive. A blazing inferno erupts as he unleashes his raw, destructive power. The battlefield turns to ash in the wake of his scorching fury. Jong-pil is left speechless, watching his savior turn the tide with a flick of his wrist. Magic is officially the ultimate equalizer. The monsters are being wiped out in waves of fire. They can't believe their eyes. Is this really magic? They're seeing a fantasy come to life. They're already wondering if they can use it too. But he knows better than to give away his edge. He holds back, wanting to make sure the others get some experience, or at least don't die immediately. Points are the name of the game, and he's earning them by the second. He devours the brown monkey, absorbing its essence. His agility stat jumps by 3 points. The rewards are rolling in. The hungry prince is absolutely thrilled with the meal. He loves a chef who knows how to cook his prey. Jong-pil is groveling, promising to serve him for life. I'd give it a week before he betrays him again. He plays along, accepting the servant while keeping his guard up. He tells the coward to eat up. He'll need the strength for the next wave, whether he likes it or not. A massive, enraged beast thunders through the forest with lethal intent. The ground trembles as the predator tears up the earth, ready to hunt its next victim. The boss is here, and it's not looking for a friendly chat. The creature shrieks, ready to trample everything in its path. Everything is coming to a head. This is the true test. With a single lethal swing, he cuts down the beasts in their tracks. Not a single monster stands a chance against his cold-blooded precision. Level up. The grind is paying off big time. Level 3. He's hitting milestones faster than the system ever intended. The third wave is officially cleared. One step closer to surviving this hell. The survivors receive their points, but it's a drop in the bucket compared to what he's earned. The main quest is over, and he's surprised by how much the others actually stepped up. He's sitting comfortably at first place, leaving the rest of the pack in the dust. The final boss finally steps out of the shadows. It's the boar that digs the hill, a massive, terrifying wall of muscle and tusks. The vault opens again. The boss is hiding something good. This is where legends are made, or where players get turned into paste. He activates sharpness, a technique from the colorless tower to turn his blade into a razor. The monstrous beast charges with lethal intent, but our hero stands his ground, blade ready for the collision. A single misstep means certain death. The boss falls, and the forest finally goes quiet. The massive beast lunges with lethal intent, jaws snapping shut in a blur of fury. One wrong move means certain death for our hero. A massive 500-point bonus for taking down the boss. He loots the giant boar's fang, a rare and valuable material. It's not armor like the wolf hide, but it's a high-grade crafting component. He pockets the fang. He'll need a pro to process it, but it's a prize worth keeping. The protagonist freezes in his tracks, blindsided by an unexpected turn of events. What could possibly have caught him off guard? He finds the Forgotten Hero's tool, a D-grade item with mysterious potential. This must be what the boars were digging for. It's the missing link to the hero's blade. He's holding a piece of history in his hands. The aftermath of the carnage is laid bare as the wounded are rushed to safety. Tension spikes while a lone figure stands amidst the chaos of the dying. He scouts the area, looking for the perfect spot to set up. The tool is vibrating, it's clearly reacting to something nearby. The vault opens, revealing the potential for something even greater. He unlocks the secret of the Black Rock Forge, the legendary craftsmanship of the dwarves. He needs to maintain his gear. A dull blade is a dead man's tool. The forge is ready to be utilized. He's never sharpened a blade before, but he's a quick learner. He's actually doing it. The master smiths would be proud of his natural talent. The blacksmith scoffs, noting that modern folks rely on machines instead of the refined, manual precision of a true master. He boasts that he's been living off iron for decades. Sharpening a stone is child's play for him. Impressed by the quality of the sharpening stones found in the wild, our hero begs the master to restore his trusty but rusty blade. The master inspects the weapon, noting that despite its age, the balance remains true and the blade is still in fighting shape. The onlookers are stunned. Who knew such a legendary craftsman was hiding in the camp all along? The master lets out a weary sigh, admitting it's been a long time since he poured this much focus into his craft. He rings the sword like a bell, inviting them to hear the crisp, perfect tone of a honed edge. The difference is night and day. The blade's line is now impossibly clean and deadly. The sword is revealed to be a D+ grade item, now buffed with Master's Touch and Hero's Trace, making it a monster-slaying beast. The master smiles, finding the simple act of sharpening a sword after all these years to be strangely therapeutic. Honestly, some people find zen in meditation. He finds it in grinding metal. He eyes the giant boar's fangs and wolf hides, already imagining the top-tier gear he could forge from such materials. Suddenly, the heavens tremble. The soldier with a golden crown constellation is officially watching Go Chong-suk. Pure terror flashes across his face as he realizes the nightmare is real. He's completely frozen in the shadow of an unthinkable threat. The soldier with a golden crown is here, and he's not just a spectator. It's the 28th Demon Lord, Beres, one of the notorious 7 deadly sins. The Death Knight emerges from the hellfire, eyes burning with a soul-chilling intensity. A nightmare charge begins as he stares down his next victim. Ranked 28th in the hierarchy of hell, this guy is definitely not here to hand out candy. Beres is a master of alchemy, capable of transmuting common metals into solid gold with a flick of his wrist. His skill with iron is so legendary that even Hephaestus would be sweating bullets. He is the embodiment of destruction itself. And for some reason, Beres is looking right at him. Our hero is understandably confused. What is happening right now? He learns of the constellations, divine, transcendent beings residing at the top of the tower. Why would a god care about him? Most of them are useless, but a little divine attention never hurt anyone, right? Our hero reveals he's already catching the eye of another deity. Talk about being popular. He wonders if he needs to put on a show for them, but is told to just keep doing what he's doing. Turns out, having a god as a fan is actually a massive cheat code. He compares the divine interest to how he handles fire, dangerous but useful if controlled. The temptation to lean into this newfound power is becoming impossible to ignore. He decides to embrace it, asking the god to keep a close watch on his journey. He's feeling confident. He's definitely better at this than flailing around with a wooden stick. At least with a master smith in his corner, he can stop worrying about his gear breaking in the middle of a boss fight. The clock is ticking. Only 3 hours left until the 4th monster wave hits. The treasure vault of greed swings open, revealing untold potential. He dives into the 3-talent skill, a cosmic method for observing the mysteries of heaven, earth, and man. With a mana circle already established, it's time to take the next step and open the Danteon. The tension reaches a breaking point as he pushes himself to the limit. Sweat drips down his face while he braces for the storm ahead. The Danteon isn't just given. It has to be carved out in the lower abdomen through sheer force of will. He focuses his energy, guiding the flow to unlock his inner potential. A deafening shockwave tears through the air. The battlefield trembles under the weight of pure, unadulterated power. Success. The Danteon is open, and the 3-talent skill has been mastered. With the Danteon active, his internal energy efficiency skyrockets, turning him into a martial arts powerhouse. He's achieved outstanding results. The gods are definitely watching now. A nice reward of 1,000 points lands in his pocket. Not bad for a day's work. Only an hour remains until the next wave of monsters arrives to crash the party. He stands ready, feeling like a completely different person. The seasoned master reveals his legendary blade with a chilling, knowing smirk. The air crackles with anticipation as he prepares to unleash true power. Everything is happening faster than he ever dared to imagine. He would have loved a refinement agent, but for now he'll have to make do with his current stash. The Grey Wolf Cloak, a D-grade relic, is equipped and ready for action. He readies the Fong Dagger, a weapon honed to perfection by nothing but the whetstone. The master asks if he's satisfied with the gear, and honestly, how could he not be? It's truly impressive, a D-plus item crafted without a single machine. It's no wonder Beres is so interested. Our guy is actually talented. A sincere thank you is offered for the master's incredible work. They agree that the master should stay back and handle the gear while the others do the fighting. Smart move. Keep the valuable craftsman alive. 57 minutes left, and the next wave is shaping up to be a real nightmare. He rallies the troops. The monsters are coming, and everyone needs to be ready. The warning is clear. This wave isn't just dangerous, it's a death trap if they lose focus. Some of the idiots are actually hoping for more boars. They really have no idea what's coming, do they? He watches his teammates acting way too relaxed. It's enough to give him a headache. If he says it's going to be hard, you better believe it's going to be impossible. The countdown begins. Deep in the core of the base, the tension builds. He barks an order for silence. The enemy is near. The silence is shattered as terror grips the group. They stare in absolute shock at the nightmare unfolding before them. 1 minute left. The air is freezing. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. With a sharp, icy glare. He makes it clear that he's not here to play games. He acknowledges Kong Han-cheol. It's time to see if he's worth his salt. The stage is set for the fourth wave, and there's no turning back. The tutorial enters its next brutal phase. Defend or die. A monstrous predator bares its lethal fangs, ready to tear everything to shreds. The hunt has officially begun. Wolves? They've handled wolves before, right? Some of the rookies think this will be a walk in the park. Oh, they are so wrong. Panic sets in as they realize these aren't your average forest mutts. These things are the size of houses. The rookies are starting to lose their minds, and frankly, who can blame them? He remembers when he used to be this scared, but those days are long gone. These are no ordinary beasts. They are something far more dangerous. He screams at them to stop whining and start hunting. Does anyone have a problem with that? No? Good. He's frustrated. Why are these people so useless under pressure? The hunter becomes the hunted as a ruthless pack of wolves closes in for the kill. With no escape in sight, his desperate sprint for survival begins now. A panicked cry rings out. He's in over his head. This is the real deal, and it's going to get messy. Is this really necessary? The difficulty spike is absolutely insane. They're screaming for signals, but he's already busy fighting for his life. Even the hungry Prince Constellation is grabbing his popcorn, ready to watch the slaughter. The entertainment value is high, but the death toll is rising. It's a brutal trade. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. The treasure vault of greed hums with activity as he taps into more power. He unlocks the Blood Wolf sword art, a lethal style designed for one thing: survival. With eyes glowing with lethal intent, he launches a blinding, high-speed strike that tears through the battlefield. First form, Blood Wolf Claw. The air itself seems to bleed. With the dantian open, his internal energy flows like a river, amplifying his every move. A pack of bloodthirsty beasts lunges from the shadows, eyes glowing with lethal intent. There's no time to run. The hunt is officially on. The sound of metal meeting fur echoes through the clearing. Blood Wolf Fong is unleashed, powered by raw internal energy that cuts through hides like butter. A cataclysmic surge of crimson energy erupts, obliterating everything in its path. Our hero unleashes a devastating assault that tears the very battlefield apart. With cold eyes and a blade stained in crimson, he stands ready to deliver the final strike. The slaughter begins now. His comrades stare in disbelief. Is he even the same person they knew yesterday? He absorbs the essence of the fallen gray wolf, his strength and agility climbing with every kill. The hungry prince watches, his mouth wide open in pure, gluttonous excitement. Can he skip the helping part and just keep power leveling? Not today, unfortunately. He braces for impact as the wood splinters under a brutal assault. Desperation is etched across his face as he clings to his last line of defense. Death looms overhead as a monstrous beast strikes. Our hero is cornered and facing a gruesome end. Everyone else is struggling, and the camp is falling into chaos. Kong Han-cheol is barely holding on. His speed just can't match the wolves. But wait, Yuseoa is actually holding her own. With eyes locked and blade drawn, she's ready to strike. There is no turning back now. The masked warrior launches a lethal, lightning-fast strike. One wrong move and it's all over. The crowned spider watches intently. He's never seen technique like this before. It's Baal, the top-tier demon lord, and he's clearly impressed by her potential. Of course he's interested. She's fighting with the grace of a grandmaster. The spider is gauging her worth. Will she be a pawn or a player? A shadow-clad warrior unleashes a devastating, blinding strike. The air cracks as she brings down the fury of a silent, lethal assault. A lethal strike tears through the air with unstoppable force. The battle reaches a bone-chilling climax. If you're enjoying this recap, smash that like button and subscribe for more. The speed of her blade is truly incomparable. She's moving faster than the eye can follow. The masked vigilante strikes with blinding speed, unleashing a lethal arc of raw, pulsating energy. There's no escaping this swift and savage blow. Surrounded by a lethal purple aura, she readies her blade for a devastating strike. There is no escape from her piercing gaze. With a lethal flash of energy, she cleaves through the beast in a single, brutal motion. The hunt is on, and she isn't holding back. Is Baal testing her to see if she's worthy of his power? The stakes just went through the roof. The shadows awaken as a ferocious beast lunges to tear its prey apart. Steel flashes in the darkness as the hunter goes for the kill. The beast falls with a heavy thud. Now's the chance to end it. Strike hard and don't look back. The crowned spider is practically cheering. He's having the time of his life watching this. Baal is clearly pleased. She's definitely caught his attention. The fourth wave is cleared, and everyone gets a nice little point bonus. The system calculates the contributions. Who came out on top? Zhang Siwun takes first place by a mile, followed by Yu Xiaohua and Kang Hanqiol. Frozen in terror, she gasps for air as reality comes crashing down. The silence is broken only by her ragged, desperate breaths. With a sudden, violent whip of her hair, she pivots into the heat of battle. Her blade is drawn and ready for the clash. The battle has ended, but the silence is heavy as he cradles her broken form. A chilling resolve burns behind his eyes. The calm before the storm. He gives a nod, good work, but they're not out of the woods yet. Someone's screaming about their leg. Is there a doctor in the house? He can't do anything without the right tools, but he's not about to let anyone die on his watch. Cornered and trembling, the group finds themselves surrounded by a chilling, shadowy threat. There's nowhere left to run as the darkness closes in. Some coward is blaming him for not helping enough. Give me a break. He was busy killing the boss. The tension is palpable. What is he trying to do? The look on his face says he's about to do something crazy. He tells them to move, he's got this under control. He activates Cure Light, a basic white tower spell that stops the bleeding and saves lives. The wound seals up, and the relief is immediate. Everyone starts begging for his help now. Funny how the tune changes when you're the one holding the magic. He can't heal everyone. He's going to prioritize the ones who are actually dying. Smart, ruthless, and efficient. It's more than they expected. No deaths, and everyone is recovering faster than they ever thought possible. He stands tall, looking over the survivors. What's going on? Why is he looking at them like that? The air is heavy with anticipation. He turns his gaze to the final threat and whispers, "Fight me." Oh, it is on. Kang Hanqiol is acting like his usual self, much to everyone's annoyance. He decides that to truly get through to his opponent, he needs to shatter their spirit first. He commands his opponent to stop holding back and bring out their weapons and magic. His opponent refuses, staying cool and collected. The challenge is set. If Hanqiol wants a weapon fight, he'll have to prove he can handle it barehanded first. The battle begins as they clash. The intensity is ramping up fast. Hanqiol notes that while his opponent hits like a truck, that defense is definitely leaving some gaps. The two exchange blows, testing each other's limits. Hanqiol has to admit the guy's hardware is actually pretty solid. They continue to trade strikes in a heated display of skill. Realizing he can't win this barehanded right now, he shifts his strategy. Suddenly, the treasure vault of greed clicks open. He taps into the legendary Tai Chi, a masterclass of Chinese martial arts. He stands ready, channeling the ancient technique. The fight is far from over. He grits his teeth, determined to push past his current limits. Raw strength is Hanqiol's bread and butter, but he's about to learn that technique changes everything. He realizes Tai Chi isn't about brute force. It's about mastering the flow of energy. Any attack built purely on force is flawed. Against the fluid redirection of Tai Chi, force means nothing. The attacker's own energy will be used against them. The tide of the battle is shifting rapidly. A grunt of pain escapes as he feels the weight of his own power turned back on him. He admits defeat, humbled by the superior technique. His mentor tells him there's no rush, he's already plenty strong. The training regimen is set, 2 sessions a day. They'll be sparring here daily until he gets it right. Tough love, the best kind of love, right? High above, the constellation Old Man riding a crocodile watches Han Chiol with keen interest. It's Agar's, the second-ranked Demon King himself. Looks like Han Chiol finally caught the eye of a big-time player. The tutorial's 5th wave is here, and it's time to prove his worth. The locals are finally starting to look at him with some respect. Wolves, boars, monkeys. What kind of zoo is this place? Everyone grabs their gear. It's go time. His partner is hyped and ready for the next wave. Han Chiol tells him to sit this one out. He's got it handled. He's been holding back to help the others, but no more Mr. Nice Guy. Everyone needs to earn their own keep now. Time to show them how it's really done. The action is about to explode. He charges forward. His ally is shocked. Is that Tai Chi? And did he just sign a contract with a demon king? Han Chiol doesn't even need to break a sweat anymore. His partner tries to tag along, but Han Chiol shuts that down immediately. He's heading for the Rocky Mountain peak. His buddy stays behind to guard the camp, probably happy to avoid the danger. He starts the climb. The creatures here aren't going to make it easy. He channels his internal energy to unleash the blood wolf Fong. The hungry prince constellation is still complaining about his appetite. Talk about a needy pet. Honestly, managing a godlike entity is basically just like babysitting a toddler. He promises the prince a feast at the summit. Before he regressed, he wouldn't have dreamed of coming here. But today the game has changed. He encounters the Balaton cliff macaque, a top-tier predator. With his new strength, no cliff is too high to conquer. He scales the mountain with ease. He trusts his instincts, feeling the mountain's flow as he climbs. Without this power, he would have been a goner ages ago. The hungry prince is getting impatient. Where's the buffet? Finally, he reaches the top. A screech echoes through the air. The monkeys are clearly rattled. Nobody ever climbs this high. Maybe a single warning wasn't enough to scare them off. He spots a cave, likely the monkey's secret path. Time to investigate. Could there be a hidden piece waiting for him? He steps into the darkness. The cave leads straight to the summit, just as he suspected. He locks eyes with the leader of the pack. It's a monkey, but not quite the Sun Wukong he was hoping for. It reminds him of the great sage, Heaven's Equal. The tower designers really loved their tropes. It's definitely a knockoff, but a dangerous one. The boss is ready for a showdown. Now this is a real fight. For a tutorial boss, this thing has surprisingly high-level weapon skills. He realizes that playing defense isn't going to win him the fight. He needs a better plan. He searches for an opening to strike. The clash of steel rings through the cavern. This boss is tougher than a $2 steak. He braces himself. He catches his breath. That staff is heavier than he anticipated. The monkey wants its toy back, but Han Chiol isn't in a sharing mood. The Gods Treasury vault pulses with energy. It's time to use a new technique. He activates the dog-beating staff technique, an old-school move designed for street brawlers, perfect for a monkey. The boss looks confused. It didn't see that coming. Han Chiol isn't letting this opportunity slip away. With a final blow, the cliff-climbing monkey falls. He levels up and scores a cool 1,000 contribution points. He pockets the hazelnut stone. Maybe the elder will want it. He's finally finished with the pest. He consumes the monster to gain +5 agility and +5 intelligence. That's 10 stats in one go. If he keeps this up, he'll be an unstoppable tank. What's next on the agenda? He checks out what the monkey was guarding. He can't believe his luck. A secret dungeon in the first chapter of the tutorial. Dungeons mean tons of experience and legendary loot. First clear bonuses are going to make him rich. He's not turning back now. He gains Eyes of the Night Owl, allowing him to see in the pitch black. Let's see what's lurking in the dark. The path slopes downward, heading deep into the mountain's core. The air gets colder the deeper he goes. He reaches the main chamber. The floor is scarred by countless blade marks. It's a true training ground for the brave. He moves toward the center. He spots a mysterious hole in the wall. It's a part of a chain quest. He's on the right track. He finds the sword of the forgotten hero. This is it. He's been granted the right to challenge the hero himself. The air crackles with anticipation. It's starting earlier than he thought. He tries to pull the sword, but it's stuck tight. The chamber dampens his magic, forcing him to fight on pure skill. As soon as he grips the blade, the duel begins. The challenge is officially active. He braces for the fight of his life. The hero speaks, noting it's been ages since he had a challenger. Wait, there were others before him? The hero confirms there was one, a long time ago. The tension reaches a breaking point. The duel is about to determine his fate. If you're enjoying this recap, smash that like button and subscribe for more.